Guys, we got a Frankenstein Flip today. Check this out. There's a lot here, so I'm going to take you through all of it. All right, as I came up, I noticed these stairs were sloping backwards. This isn't even close to being the worst efficiency, but all these steps are angled backwards. So this entire stairway right here has been lifted up on the front. And if you look, they used a joist hanger to attach it, which is improper. You can't just rest the whole thing on this little lip, but it's not even fastened. Underneath we have a cracked pier block, and over here I noticed here we have wood rot. So we were already off to a good start, but wait until I show you the structural problems. Now here we have this big carport. It's pretty big, and if you come over here and look at this support column and footing, I'm just gonna say, number one, you can't just do ground to wood contact and put this on a block of wood, because that is a big carport. This is one of my favorite finds. I came over here to this dryer vent, and when I opened it up, they've got a J box inside there. Not sure what they're doing there. Oh, but it gets much worse. All right, I came over here. I noticed the whole driveway slopes towards the back of this house right here. They've got inadequate ground to siding clearance all around here. But one thing that I noticed is this downspout is connected to the gutter here, but the whole gutter slopes down toward the house here, and you can see where water's draining against the house right there. And that gutter leak is acting as the downspout currently, and that's where all the water is going, right there, and that's not good. We got loose siding up here on the eave. Came across here, you'll see a bunch of gaps in the siding like this one right here. You can't have a butt joint on vinyl siding. Look at this. There's your dryer vent, and here's a big water funnel right here. Everything's just going to funnel right into this spot right there. This siding is not even attached. Now I noticed two downspouts. One is just dumping next to the foundation, which is bad, but the other one appears to be a subsurface drain. Down here, and I dug this out and realized, nope, it is not. It is just clogged. Here's the fun part of the inspection for me, because that used to be a deck. Then they decided to enclose the deck. What do you do when you enclose a deck? Well, you build a deck onto the deck. What do you do when you build a deck? You find the cheapest contractor you can. All right, so first of all, you'll see how nice this balustrade looks. Except when you come over on this side, these notches are meant for these balusters. Just say they didn't stick the landing there. You come up here, and let's see how they did here. When you're on the deck, you're going to slip and fall. You're going to have one too many to drink. And over here, it's even worse, because on this side, they didn't even attempt to put this on the outside. They just did this wonky chuck in a truck construction here. And if you look at this entire railing system, that's a big bunch of nope. I'm going to say that's nope and a half at least. Here, we have no center stringer. The stairs are not boxed in. And then for support, it's all right. We'll just shove a rock under it. That'll help. No problem. This house gets worse. This isn't even close to the worst thing. Came over here to try to test this exterior receptacle. Luckily, they made this loose, so we could probably get a cord in there if we really needed to, just by wobbling this back and forth. This gets worse. I saw this skirting. I wanted to see what was behind here. Oh yeah, let's look at the foundation. That's about 2 inches of displacement. But let me show you what I found out here on the outside. This is where it gets good. Now, when I first arrived at this house, I noticed a few things. Right up here, I noticed this entire eave is sagging right here, and I'm going to show that to you. Right there, this entire roof line right here is sagging down. As I stood back and looked at that, I wanted to know why that was sagging so much, and I was trying to figure out if maybe the dormer, that entire upstairs, had been added on and it was a structural deficiency. But then I noticed here, this window is cocked. It's not plumb, it's not level, it's cocked a little bit that way. And as I looked down here, I started seeing a lot of rough parge coating. And as I came up, I saw that the sump pump in the basement was just dumping water out. It's cycling water, which tells me a lot of water is getting in the basement. Anytime you see real rough parge coating on the outside of a cinder block foundation, they're doing this usually as a repair. And what I want to try to do is see if there's any displacement. And if you look real close, you're going to see that right here is a patched crack running here, drops down, and it runs out this direction. So there's definitely something going on with the foundation right there. And that is directly above the sag in that roof. So now I've definitely got concerns. We're going inside straight to the basement. You guys know how I love going in these basements. It's my favorite part. Obviously, we have no graspable handrails, inadequate balusters on the basement stairs, pretty common. Improper tape on the ductwork. First thing I see are these temporary columns. Those are no good. Came in here, I noticed some really wonky things, like a 4x4 fence post holding up the floor with temporary columns. I came over here, see a bunch more temporary columns. As I crawled under here, what's the first thing I saw was a floor joist that was over-notched, so that's a structural deficiency. And then there's a floor joist that was over-notched, but they used a fence plank to fix it. But as I looked way back here, what did I see? The entire foundation right there, those blocks are completely displaced. That's their foundation. Came over here, significant step cracks, erosion under the foundation, a random corrugated pipe. So when that knock on the door comes and you normally would say, "Dave's not here, man," that's where you hide it right there. That's where you hide the paraphernalia. This gets much worse. Yeah. That is the soil supporting the foundation that is completely eroded, and this is that dip in the back of the house where I was showing you it was like a funnel. We're just gonna say that's excessive displacement and damage. The heating system is good. I'm sure that's blown a lot of heat up into the house. And that right there, that's the little pump that could. You can do it, don't give up. Psychedelic colors on the plumbing pipe. And then instead of fixing the foundation so that it can bear the sill plate and the floor structure properly, let's just throw a little support under here. Now you notice how close it is to the foundation. That's not a squeak support. That's actually intended to be a structural support. But if you look here, they've got it resting on a 2x4. It's not even bearing on it squarely. Will that work? Yeah, I'm sure it'll work. But the foundation is supposed to be providing that support, not this wonky fence post. All right, so my clients were first-time buyers, young couple, very nice couple. We had the little basement talk where I said, I'm seeing some significant problems, and if you want to stop now, I can prorate back a significant portion of the inspection fee, or we can hold a free inspection on account for you. And I could see the look on their face. Before we even got in the basement, they were pretty well done. They didn't want to buy this place. But before we go, here's one of my favorite findings. The chimney, this nice chimney support. Yeah, that's a big bunch of nope. This duct is good. Look at this. Now here's where I get yelled at. La la la. I noticed I smelled something. Anybody know a contractor that can scrape barnacles off the ductwork?